They thought the library was quiet. But the shelves remember everything. My name is June Park, head librarian at the Crescent City Archives, a century-old library built by donations, run by passion, and loved by people who still believe books can keep a city honest. I believe that too. Until the day they tried to sell our past. The new cultural director, Simon Grady, called it progress. He wore perfect suits and spoke in slogans, innovation, not nostalgia. When he announced plans to modernize the library, I clapped like everyone else, until I read the fine print. Our rare book collection, donations from families, war veterans, teachers, would be consolidated and sold to private partners. Sold. Like memories were just merchandise. When I asked about donor permissions, Simon smiled and said, "Don't worry, June. It's all in the database." But when I checked, the database was missing things, donor names, signatures, entire accession cards. A diary once labeled gift of the Fletcher family now read deaccessioned. Private acquisition. Except, I knew that diary was still in our basement. So I went looking. And I found something better than proof. I found Mr. Fletcher himself. 80 years old, sharp as ever, still carrying a carbon copy of the original donation receipt. He said, "My father gave that diary so no one would ever forget what he wrote in it." I took that receipt in my glove and promised him I wouldn't forget either. That night, with Rosa, our conservationist, I opened the diary. Inside the spine was a faint pencil note from the 1960s. "Never for sale, donor gift in perpetuity." Rosa looked at me and said, "Then someone's lying." I spent the next week building my own exhibit, in secret. I called it, The Missing Shelf. It looked like an empty display, but every frame held evidence. A donor's letter beside a doctored catalog printout, a shipping manifest with the wrong date, and Mr. Fletcher's handwritten note, all mounted neatly under glass. When I finished, I sent invitations to donors, journalists, and the Heritage Council, all under Simon's name. He arrived smiling, ready for another ribbon cutting. But when he saw the exhibit, his smile cracked. The cameras caught everything, the empty shelves, the redacted catalog entries, and the line that said, "Deaccessioned for redevelopment," edited by S. Grady. Mr. Fletcher stepped forward and read his father's donation letter aloud. "These items are given freely, to remain forever in the care of the public." The crowd fell silent. Reporters filmed every word. By morning, the story was everywhere. Library sold donated collection, director under investigation. The city froze the sale. The rare books were returned to public custody. Simon resigned, citing miscommunication. I called it what it was, theft. A week later, I stood in the rare books room as Rosa reshelved the last volume. On the end cap I pinned a tiny label, "Returned, Remembered," because they thought they could sell our stories. But stories, real ones, always find their way back home.